Russian missiles hit residential buildings in the western Ukrainian city of Lviv on Thursday. At least 3 people were killed. Another 8 people were injured. Rescue operations are underway. Officials say some civilians are still trapped under debris. The city's mayor said that over 60 buildings were damaged by the missile strike. A man killed himself after detonating an explosive device in a court in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. The suspect was charged in connection with the death of 4 Ukrainian soldiers back in 2015. After the verdict, the suspect locked himself in the court's bathroom. He threw an explosive device at security guards before allegedly blowing himself up. The soldiers of Ukraine's Rapid Response Force were injured in the blast. Russian fighter jets flew dangerously close to US drones over the airspace in Syria. US Air Force officials said Russian jets deployed flares close to their drones. This forced the MQ-9 Reaper drone to make evasive maneuvers. The US also claimed that the Russian jets cut across the drone. They alleged that this damaged the electronics in the MQ-9 drone. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni met her Polish counterpart in Warsaw on Wednesday. The two leaders vowed to commit more support for Ukraine amid Russia's invasion. Meloni said, and I quote, "Italy will support Ukraine for as long as necessary." The two leaders also discussed Ukraine's participation at the upcoming NATO summit. NATO will next meet in Lithuania on the 11th of July. US President Joe Biden hosted Sweden's Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson at the White House on Wednesday. Biden assured Kristersson of his support for Sweden's entry into NATO. Kristersson raised the uncertainty over Turkey's approval. Remember, Turkey said it would dismiss Sweden's NATO bid after a Quran was burned in Stockholm as a form of freedom of speech. Meanwhile, both the leaders also signed pacts for working together on building 5G and 6G networks. The US Navy claimed it prevented Iran from seizing 2 commercial oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman on Wednesday. Navy officials said US ships received a distress call from the oil tankers while en route to Oman's capital, Muscat. Drone footage released by the US shows 2 speedboats within 1 kilometer of the oil tankers. US officials alleged that these speedboats belonged to Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps. However, Iran has not made an official statement on the incident. Hundreds of Palestinian mourners took to the streets of Jenin city in the occupied West Bank on Wednesday. They attended funerals of civilians who were killed by Israeli soldiers during the Jenin raid. On Monday, Israel launched a 2-day military operation in Jenin city. 12 civilians were killed during the raid. Israel had deployed over 1,000 soldiers for the operation. Israeli army claimed the raid was conducted to take out a militant command center in Jenin. Meanwhile, thousands of Israelis took to the streets of Tel Aviv on Wednesday. This was after Tel Aviv's police chief resigned. The police chief alleged political intervention by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government. He said that Netanyahu demanded police officers use excessive force against anti-government protesters. Soon after the police chief's resignation, demonstrators blocked the Tel Aviv highway while chanting, "Save our democracy." A suspected gas leak has killed at least 16 people near the city of Johannesburg in South Africa. Government officials claim the gas leak is linked to suspected illegal mining activities. Authorities have cordoned off the area and are investigating the incident. At least 29 people were killed after a bus fell into a ravine in southern Mexico. Another 19 people were injured in the tragic accident. Mexican officials say the bus crashed after the driver lost control on a sharp turn. This is the second major bus accident in Mexico this week. In April, at least 18 people were killed after a bus fell off a cliff in western Mexico. Guatemala's presidential candidate Bernardo Arevalo said the current government was plotting against him. Arivalo, accused the government of trying to remove him from the presidential race. In June, the Central American nation held its presidential election. Last week, the Supreme Court called for a ballot review after voters alleged fraud and irregularities. Arivalo is running against Guatemala's former First Lady, Sandra Torres. Metro workers went on strike in Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires, on Wednesday. They demanded the removal of asbestos from their workplace. They also asked for reduced working hours. According to the workers' union, at least 7 metro workers have contracted cancer due to asbestos. 3 of the 7 have died due to cancer. Asbestos is a mineral that is poisonous and has carcinogenic properties. Scotland marked the coronation of King Charles in the capital, Edinburgh, on Wednesday. Hundreds of anti-monarchy protesters jeered the ceremony. They shouted, "Not my king." Some even booed the British monarchy. Recent polls show that the British monarchy is the least popular in Scotland compared to the rest of the UK. South Korea is facing a shortage of doctors for children. Pediatricians are choosing other fields as South Korea's birth rate remains low. In 2022, the country's birth rate fell below 1 to 0.78%. The Union for Pediatricians said that low birth rates meant their future remains uncertain. The association added that 90% of their members had closed their practices. Heavy monsoon rain has caused flash floods in Pakistan's Lahore city. Gushing waters entered houses, damaging some buildings. Officials have deployed rescue teams in the city's low-lying areas. The Weather Office has issued a warning for more rainfall till Sunday. A rare storm with winds reaching speeds of 145 kilometers per hour hit the Netherlands. At least one person was killed after an uprooted tree crushed a car. Several buildings were also damaged by the storm. Train services were halted in the northern regions of the Netherlands due to bad weather. Extremely strong winds prompted Amsterdam's airport authorities to cancel almost 400 flights. A heat wave is scorching China's capital, Beijing. Temperatures reached 40 degrees Celsius on Wednesday. City officials advised residents to restrict outdoor activity and to cool off with ice cream. China's weather service said temperatures in Beijing were likely to spike in August. Heat waves are exacerbating climate dangers in Latin America. Rising temperatures are causing droughts and wildfires in several South American countries. The heat is also drying up water bodies. Climate observers say that high temperatures are leading to a rise in demand for electricity. This has caused carbon dioxide emissions in South America to spike to their highest level in 20 years. Scientists warn this will further impact the climate, making it a vicious cycle. Hundreds of farmers staged a tractor-trailer protest in Spain's capital, Madrid, on Wednesday. They accused the government for not providing adequate funding amid a prolonged drought in the country. The farmers said that this year's drought has severely impacted crop yield. In May, Spain approved a financial package worth over $2.4 billion for the farmers. However, the farmers are demanding more aid from the Spanish government. Climate activists from Just Stop Oil interrupted play twice at the Wimbledon Open. This was on Wednesday, which was the third day of the tournament. The protesters threw orange tape mixed with jigsaw puzzles on the grass court. They were detained by security officials amid booing from the audience. After the incident, tennis players Katie Boultier and Daria Saville helped ground staff in picking up the confetti. On to business now. Sri Lanka's central bank has cut its key rates by 200 basis points. This is in line with analysts' expectations. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka cut its standing deposit facility rate from 13% to 11%. Meanwhile, it cut its standing lending facility rate to 12% from 14%. Remember, the island nation had plunged into crisis last year after its foreign exchange reserves ran out. Chinese Premier Li Qiang met with a business delegation from Japan to hold talks. The delegation of around 80 people was led by Japanese Foreign Minister Yohei Kono. They spoke about China and Japan's bilateral relations. Kono committed to promoting economic and trade exchanges between the two countries. Meanwhile, China and the members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations also met in China's Shenzhen city. Top business leaders and around 300 representatives attended the forum. They exchanged ideas on cooperation in the fields of digital economy, new energy vehicles, and other emerging industries. The U.S. Commerce Department has said that America opposes the export controls announced by China on some metals. The spokesperson said that the U.S. will consult their partners and allies to address the issue. Earlier this week, China put export controls on gallium and germanium, which are widely used in the semiconductor industry. Reports say PricewaterhouseCoopers Australia provided Google confidential information regarding the country's new tax law. This is the first time a company has been directly linked to the scandal. PwC has been facing scrutiny for its role in leaking confidential information about Australia's tax laws to its corporate clients. Reports say Samsung Electronics' second quarter profit is expected to plunge by 96% year-on-year. This would be the lowest for any quarter in more than 14 years of the company's history. A glut in the chip market continues to drive large losses for the tech giant's business. The number of monthly users visiting OpenAI's ChatGPT likely declined for the first time in June. This is according to online traffic monitor SimilarWeb. Data from the monitor showed ChatGPT's global visits kept slowing from its peak in January. If the current trends continue, its growth will decline for the first time on a month-on-month basis. Meanwhile, ChatGPT's creator, OpenAI, is planning to create a new research team. It will seek to ensure that the company's artificial intelligence remains safe for humans. OpenAI co-founder Ilya Sutskever said that humans will need better techniques than currently available to control super-intelligent AI. Super-intelligent AI are systems that are more intelligent than humans. Sutskever expects that AI technology that is super-intelligent will arrive within this decade. Canadian media company Quebecor will pull its ads from Facebook and Instagram. This follows Meta Platforms' decision to stop news access across its social media sites in Canada. Meta's decision came after Canada passed the Online News Act. Under the Act, internet companies are required to pay news publishers for carrying their content. US-based company Aleph Aeronautics has been given a limited certification by the United States Federal Aviation Administration. The FAA has allowed the company to test its flying car known as Model A. The CEO of the company says that it will, however, take a long time for the general public to use these flying cars. This is especially due to concerns regarding traffic regulations.
So many safety components.
Moving to sports. In cricket, Indian stars Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma have been dropped from the upcoming T20 series against West Indies. Instead, Tilak Verma and Yashasvi Jaiswal have been included in the squad. This comes after Verma and Jaiswal delivered stellar performances in this year's Indian Premier League. India will play their first T20 match against the West Indies on August 3rd. West Indies beat Oman by 7 wickets in the Cricket World Cup qualifiers on Wednesday. However, West Indies had already failed to qualify for this year's World Cup. Opener Brandon King made 100 and captain Shai Hope finished at 63 not out. Oman set a target of 222 runs for West Indies, which they chased with over 10 overs remaining in the match. England's leading wicket-taker James Anderson has been rested for the third Ashes Test. The English side has made a total of 3 changes to their playing 11 in the must-win game. Australia is leading the 5-Test Ashes series 2-0. Moeen Ali, Chris Wokes and Mark Wood have found their way to the playing 11. Earlier, England vice-captain Ollie Pope was ruled out of the tournament owing to an injury. In football, Argentina forward Angel Di Maria has joined Benfica for the second time in his career. He joined the club as a free agent. This means there was no transfer fee involved. 35-year-old Di Maria previously played for the Portuguese club from 2007 to 2010. He spent last season with Italian club Juventus after having spent 7 years with the French club Paris Saint-Germain. Brazil's Rio de Janeiro government has named a new anti-racism law after Vinicius Jr. Vinicius was racially abused by fans when Madrid played Valencia in May. The law will see sporting events stopped or suspended in the event of racist misconduct. The Vinny Jr. law includes protocol on how to process complaints of racism and mandatory educational campaigns. French club Paris Saint-Germain has appointed Luis Enrique as their new coach. The 53-year-old will replace Christophe Galtier. Galtier lost the job despite winning the league title with PSG. Enrique has been a free agent since being sacked as Spain coach last December. Premier League club Manchester United has signed Mason Mount for a reported fee of $70 million. Mount has moved from Chelsea on a 5-year contract with the option of extending it for 1 more year. The 24-year-old graduated from Chelsea's youth academy. He made 129 Premier League appearances, scoring 27 goals. In tennis, Novak Djokovic celebrates his 350th win at a Grand Slam by defeating Australia's Jordan Thompson. He now moves to the 3rd round of the Wimbledon Championship. The 36-year-old beat the unseeded Australian 6-3, 7-6, 7-5. Djokovic has now joined Roger Federer and Serena Williams' record of winning 350 matches at the Grand Slams. 5th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas defeated former world number 3 Dominic Thiem to move into the Wimbledon 2nd round. The 74-year-old Greek beat the Austrian 3-6, 7-6, 6-2, 6-7, 7-6. The match took almost 4 hours and 5 sets over 2 days to decide the winner. Tsitsipas will next play 2-time Wimbledon champion Andy Murray. World number 1 Iga Świątek beat Sara Sorribes Tormo 6-2, 6-0 to cruise into the Wimbledon 3rd round. The US Open and French Open champion has never been beyond the 4th round of Wimbledon. This is Świątek's 40th match win of the 2023 season. In the 3rd round, Świątek will face either French player Diane Parry or Croatia's Petra Martic. Moving to the world of entertainment, film regulators in the Philippines are threatening to join Vietnam in banning Warner Bros.' much-anticipated movie Barbie. The film finds itself in the middle of a brewing controversy over a scene that depicts a politically sensitive map of Southeast Asia. On Monday, Vietnam said that it was banning all screenings of the film for showing a map of the so-called Nine-Dash Line. Actor Tom Cruise said he hopes to continue making Mission Impossible films into his 80s. The Mission Impossible franchise action star is looking to equal Harrison Ford's record as an action hero. Interestingly, Cruise still famously performs his own stunts in the franchise. The latest installment of the franchise features stunts which are being billed as the most dangerous ones Cruise has ever attempted. The owners of Hollywood's Sunset Studios have put on hold plans to build a $650 million film production base in the UK's Hertfordshire. The project is reportedly being reviewed in light of the cost inflation and rising interest rates. The delay could take the project's start into next year, according to suppliers. However, no official statement has been issued on the new schedule. Netflix has teased fans of the show Sex Education by releasing a short trailer for the new season. The fourth series of the British teen comedy drama premieres on September 21st. This will also be the season finale of the popular series. It follows the lives of students, staff and parents of the fictional Moordale Secondary School. The characters contend with various personal dilemmas, often related to sexual intimacy. According to media reports, Disney Plus has quietly cancelled a spin-off of Pixar's upcoming animated series, Win or Lose. Reports further indicate that it has been done as part of Disney's cost-cutting measures. Disney CFO Christine McCarthy announced that some content on Disney Plus would be removed. It seems as though Chance the Rapper is gearing up for a huge comeback. The rapper has come through on Instagram with his most beautiful snippet yet. In the Instagram caption, Chance the Rapper explains how the song is called Dead Beats, although that is simply a working title. The rapper has also confirmed that his upcoming album, Starland Gallery, should be dropping eventually. Fresh media reports are indicating that actor Jamie Foxx is still pretty fragile. The newest update has created deep concerns among his fans and followers. The Oscar-winning actor's health update has been reportedly kept under wraps by his family members. Foxx was taken to a hospital from the sets of one of his upcoming movies in April due to some quote-unquote medical complications. Memphis rapper Casino Jizzle was shot to death on the 4th of July. This was confirmed by his manager, Angie Strange. Memphis police said that the shooting happened around 6:30 p.m. on July 4th and that a man was found dead at the scene. The Memphis rapper was an independent artist and boasts over 46 million views on his music videos. Hong Kong-born American singer Coco Lee died on Wednesday. This was following a suicide attempt that had left her in a coma. According to her sisters, Lee committed suicide at home and was sent to the hospital on July 2nd. Lee's career spanned around 30 years. Among her most notable performances was the Oscar-nominated song A Love Before Time from the film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Personal and previously unseen photographs taken by musician Paul McCartney have gone on display at the National Portrait Gallery in London. The photos were taken by McCartney as Beatlemania was soaring in the 1960s. There are over 250 photographs from McCartney's archive on display, which even his team hadn't seen for decades.